How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having an awesome day. Today we're going to take a look at how I was able to get almost 32,000 points in this last capital raid weekend. So let's jump right into the attacks. Going to be a lot of builders workshops today, especially on the basic layout, as we have found a way to get a good chunk of the base taken out on the first attack. So here we are going in from the bottom left side. We've placed the graveyards over the splash targeting defenses. The Expo, since this one is not really defended by anything. Multi-mortar, since that's the only splash damage in that area, besides the crushers. And then of course the giant cannon. We place the graveyard behind the giant cannon so that it has a higher chance of shooting backwards instead of forwards with all of our troops. From there, we're just using the giants and the super wizards spam strategy. Made sure to deploy from the bottom left side. Spread out our giants, spread out our wizards so that they're not all in one giant grouping. And then we sprinkle in some rams whenever we feel that the super wizards might get targeted, usually when the giants sort of go their own route. So here we've already gotten over half of the base taken out, which is pretty crazy for a builder's workshop. So here we will speed up, do the last couple of rams, popping some traps on the top portion of the base. And now we're just trying to see how much more the super wizards can get. And they actually get the other giant cannon, which is insane. However, the army does fall short on the cannon. We walk away with 5,660. So now we're going to take a look at a bunch of attacks we did on the third raid. Starting off with another builder's workshop. Uh-oh. Got a loading. Might just be... yeah, it just might have been going too fast for the game to handle. One moment with the technical difficulties. So we'll take a look at another builder's workshop. Here, this is the basic layout. So we're dropping the 2 graveyards on the Expo, and then 1 over the giant cannon and the multi-mortar. Once again, we're going in from the bottom left side for deployment. And here we're just, testing the area with a few rams, making sure there's not too many traps. And then we deploy our troops, most of them from the right-hand side of the base. And then we have them all congregate down here at the giant cannon. And we did save a couple of super wizards because between the giant cannon and the mortar, sometimes that splash damage is nasty and it takes them out. So as we can see, once they get through the cannon, there'll just be the 2 crushers. And those 2 graveyards have taken out the Expo. Even with all of these defenses up here, it's just not enough for them to protect the Expo well enough. Also keep in mind, on the basic layout, there is the log trap, mini bomb, and a zap trap on the outside portion of the wall there with the Expo. And so now you can see we have a few more rams left. We're just using them to try and distract for the super wizards. And we are once again going to take out this whole left side portion of the base. Unfortunately, we don't have enough juice to get through the midsection here to get to the giant cannon. But we are able to get... do we get the town hall? I believe so, yes. Or the district hall. So once we get that, we can jump into the next raid, which is going to be a barbarian camp. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. So here we are doing the second hit on a barbarian camp. So far, logistically, if you only have one account, the highest amount of points you can get in a raid weekend will be from attacking barbarian camp and two-shotting it on 3 different raids. However, if you have either another account or a clanmate hit the barbarian camp first and then you clean it up on a second account, that is the highest way to get the greatest amount of points possible. A lot of times the barbarian camps will be worth around 9,000 points, so you can very easily get it down to was about 6,000, 5,000 points on the first attack and set it up for a very easy second attack. So that way you can actually get, like I did this week, above the 27,000, 28,000. So far there is no other way. You just have to set up the base with one account, take it out on the second to get all of the points, or to clean up from your clanmates. So that is what we did here. We found another base where there was about 5,000 loot left. And this one we are going in with some air, because we noticed that there's not really too many air targeting defenses left. So we drop in a Larry barrel on the right hand side, and we start deploying the balloons one at a time, typically on each defense. And then for the higher hit point defenses, like the air bombs, the Teslas, and the Inferno towers, you can drop 2 packs of balloons. Especially on this last portion here, we're just waiting for the rest of our balloons to get there, then we'll probably just deploy them all at the same time. Gonna speed up the video, or speed up the footage, so the video isn't 20 minutes long. We've got a few more attacks left. So now we're going on to another barbarian camp, this time on the 4th raid. Again, we are doing the cleanup attack, and this time we have 5,195 points left. Here we're just going in with the air cleanup. Pretty standard stuff if you have exposed air defenses, and if you have taken out 1 to 2 of the air bombs on the first attack, then it's a pretty easy cleanup, especially if the air bombs are offset in the base and are easily accessible. It does get very tricky on a barbarian camp if you have all the air bombs and the rocket artillery, either 1 or 2 of them, all centralized in the base and very well protected. Then it is very tricky to clean it up with an air attack, since there will likely be 3 to 4 of the major air targeting defenses left. But pretty good cleanup. We also get a bunch of bonus gold, an extra 152. And last but not least, we're looking at the final Builder's Workshop. And this one we are doing a cleanup attack. And this time there's almost 6,000 loot available. And what do we see here? We see that there is the left side, which is the standard layout, still available. We also notice that our clanmate did drop, I believe, 1 or 2 skeleton spells, which is nice. So we're just going to add another one to the expo area. And we're just going to do the same thing as before. Deploy from this bottom left side. Do a couple rams at the start, test for traps. There usually are a bunch of log traps that'll pop out when you drop 1 or 2 rams. And then after that, your troops are pretty safe in that quadrant. And that's just a matter of trying to tank for the super wizards as they get closer to the giant cannon and the multi-mortar. We already have the expo going down, which is perfect. So now the graveyard skeletons will start to break through the wall. We also have this graveyard spell with all of its skeletons finally taken down the district hall, and now moving on to the cannon. We had a nice pathing here where the giants took a little bit of a different route, so they didn't all get blasted by both the crushers at the same time, which definitely is very helpful. We don't have too much left, just 3 more rams, so we're unable to really pop those zap traps and stuff over there. However, we just have this last quadrant left, and we have 4 super wizards and 4 giants. So we do try and pop the traps on that corner, because there were a ton of skeletons. So we were trying to pop those traps as well as tank with the rams so that the giant cannon wouldn't destroy all the skeletons all at once. We got lucky and it had a nice split, so the skeletons went sort of to the top side and the bottom side of the giant cannon, so that when it shot, it only killed off one of the groups at a time. And we were able to just barely finish this raid. We still had an extra 60 bonus gold. So that's how I was able to get almost 32,000 points this last raid weekend. Most I've ever gotten, and did it by really setting up the base by one of my other accounts or helping clean up an attack from one of my clanmates. The only other variation is if you are very familiar with a basic layout, like I am with the Builder's Workshop, then it is advantageous for you to attack it on the first try to try and get as many points as possible. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was informative, possibly even educational. Let me know in the comments below if these videos are helping you out and if you're learning anything. And until next time, take care.